Here, it has been reminding me. It seems that the zombie plague in the chemical factory that Han Xiao mentioned is indeed related. Han Xiao walked up to the window and waved to Qin Bai, happily saying, I just flew over. At this moment, Qin Bai's mind was full of thoughts about mission rewards and upgrades. He excitedly thought about White Emperor City. White Emperor City has just restored order. I need to go there quickly. What will the 3S level mission reward be? Opening the system backpack, Qin Bai flipped to the mask and couldn't help but wonder, what will the 3S level mission reward be? In Jiang City, I never dared to check this mask, afraid Lito would find out I hid it. The system panel appeared, Demon Bloodline Essence, High-Level S-Grade, Medicine Item, Description, this refined ghost blood crystal has been processed using a special method, making the ghost blood power inside purer and stronger. Do you want to use it? Qin Bai had just arrived at White Emperor City, and after landing, he thought, I didn't expect these bloodline medicines to be refined into such high-level essences. The most valuable part is that they don't need to be used. Han Xiao and Qin Bai arrived almost simultaneously. He excitedly said, up ahead is White Emperor, there's a green mist there. The two quickly landed safely. The green aura around them gradually dissipated. Qin Bai walked forward step by step and asked, do you know the inside of the factory? Han Xiao looked around and replied, I learned about it before the apocalypse. Qin Bai responded, good, then let's begin. Hearing that they had to act together, Han Xiao unwillingly frowned and said, do I have to go too? This green mist and mushrooms give me a very dangerous feeling. Qin Bai maintained a calm expression and said firmly, don't worry, as long as you don't leave me more than 10 meters, nothing will happen. I'll also take you to your father's workplace, which might trigger your mission. Han Xiao was startled. He immediately put on a mask, prepared, and said, all right, White Emperor. After a while, Qin Bai raised his hand with the pink butterfly mark, and the mark lit up. The system panel displayed, Plague Intelligence Seal has been activated, unlocking the next mission, Plague Sect, Plague Factory A grade. A special mutation has turned this place into a paradise for viruses and plagues. Mission objective, trace the source of the mutated plague. Mission reward, 10,000 experience points, fast skill, A-grade bacteria cultivation. Qin Bai focused and stretched out his hand, saying, we've arrived. From Qin Bai's two fair hands, he began absorbing the green virus, thinking, when my level reached 10, my talent was also strengthened. Although it wasn't described, my ability to control the virus has greatly improved. He raised his arms high, leaning back, enjoying it, with a very intoxicated expression, thinking, awesome. All microorganisms and viruses within 10 meters are completely under my control. Unfortunately, Han Xiao didn't have a similar profession and could only pinch his nose tightly to prevent infection. Han Xiao raised his hand in approval, to enjoy in such a terrifying place, you really are top-notch. Qin Bai turned and said, hey, are you calling me a freak? Han Xiao covered his mouth and laughed. A huge mosquito flew overhead, and Han Xiao pointed at it and shouted, White Emperor, there's a monster over there. Qin Bai instinctively looked up, startled. His right arm moved gently, and immediately, viral tendrils extended, coiling into a sickle. He spoke in a low voice, a mosquito? Qin Bai quickly took a step forward and started running, while Han Xiao froze for a moment. With a single lethal slash, the mosquito, 5 times larger than him, was cut in half. It was very surprised, not understanding why it was struck. After dealing with the mosquito, Qin Bai waved his hand in the air and coolly said, I hate mosquitoes. On the mosquito's corpse, Han Xiao found a cluster of mushrooms and shouted loudly, White Emperor, look. Here, the infected mosquito is guarding near this mushroom. It might be a material for the instance. Qin Bai warned Han Xiao loudly, don't touch it unless you want to die easily. Just sniffing it will start the rot in your lungs, which is less painful than starting from your hands. Han Xiao, about to touch it, quickly pulled back and awkwardly said, "Ah, got it." Chen Bai pulled up the toxic mushrooms with his bare hands and said softly, "This is a combination of viruses and bacteria." As soon as he bit into it, Chen Bai ate it with great enjoyment, secretly pleased. "How does it taste?" Han Xiao quickly said. "White Emperor, be careful." Chen Bai chewed and said, "It's fine, I'm immune to this." While eating, his system interface popped up with a notification, absorbed deadly virus mushroom fusion, gained 150 virus points. Chen Bai put the last piece of mushroom into his mouth and said, "Not bad, one bite of virus is worth several elite zombies." Han Xiao responded with a system notification, absorbed deadly virus mushroom fusion, gained 350 virus points. Chen Bai walked ahead and said, "Let's go, we'll head to the factory area and your father's workspace." Han Xiao answered groggily, Okay, White Emperor." A moment later, outside the disease factory staff house, several dead monsters were scattered. Entering Han Xiao's father's room, Chen Bai and Han Xiao searched around for clues but found nothing. Han Xiao spoke. "I've already checked my father's work area. Nothing special, the next clue for the mission might not be here." Chen Bai said, "Then come with me to explore the source of the epidemic, but if I tell you to run, you must leave immediately." Han Xiao responded, "Okay, I won't hesitate. I won't be a burden." Chen Bai waved his hand and pointed ahead, loudly saying, "That place has the highest concentration of viruses and epidemics. Do you know where it is?" Han Xiao thought for a moment and answered, "That should be the sewage pool, where the chemical factory's wastewater gathers." He then mentioned 2 huge water pools inside. "There are 2 massive pools inside, very deep. Just pointing at them makes anyone who enters feel dizzy." Inside the disease factory's sewage treatment plant, Chen Bai opened a small window and entered an underground cave, where many giant mushrooms grew, and glowing insects flew in the damp air, filling the space with poisonous mist. Han Xiao stepped back and exclaimed, "Damn, White Emperor." Chen Bai calmly looked around and said to Han Xiao, "Surround yourself with mental power to avoid the disease from entering if you're too far from me." Han Xiao immediately responded, "Understood." Suddenly, a mysterious man wearing a cloak appeared from somewhere and spoke, "Children of disease, servants of the virus." He stood on top of a giant mushroom, raised his hands, and loudly shouted, "Children of the sect." Chen Bai looked up. Then he suddenly rushed forward, kicking and leaping. With a punch, he struck the mysterious man directly in the face. The punch carried a dazzling pressure, but this person was clearly not easy to deal with. At this moment, Chen Bai felt his power and thought, "I can't break through the defense, the blade is the strongest form of attack. The boss's difficulty is rank A, and the defense is this strong?" The mysterious man fell to the ground, struggling to push himself up with a cane and said, "Offer the most solemn sacrifices and the most devout prayers to the god destined by our fate, may our fate's god light the sacred flame soon." These words were a bit hard to understand. Chen Bai walked closer, full of doubt. And the mysterious man continued, "Thank the plague's blessings that spread throughout the world." Han Xiao was also rushing toward Chen Bai, and upon seeing everything around him becoming strange, Han Xiao froze and guessed. "White Emperor, are they kneeling to you?" Chen Bai was also stunned and replied in confusion, "I'm not sure either, maybe?" Now the mysterious man finally stood up, kneeling and bowing, respectfully introducing himself, "Of course, I am kneeling to you, great god of destiny. Pukasumi is willing to offer everything, even my life. This man's soul is Plague Sect Leader Pukasumi Y. Saren, level 71. Upon hearing this, Chen Bai widened his eyes in surprise and muttered to himself, "In my past life, I was only level 79 at most. How could someone this powerful appear at the beginning of the trial?" But when Meng felt the spiritual power, it was D rank, and even though the difference is huge, it could still sense the name and level of a saint. It's really unbelievable, he must have no defenses against me. Then he slowly walked up and asked, am I the god of your destiny? In this situation, the silly Han Xiao was still grinning. Pu Kasumi lowered his head, not daring to look directly at Chen Bai's face, and replied, yes, the high priest guided your arrival. At the cost of his life. Our sect has received the mark of plague since the beginning, you must be the god of our destiny. Chen Bai smiled slightly, thinking, I heard in my past life that every high-level talent has its unique opportunity. That is the most precious. Maybe this is the special opportunity of the Virus King. The feeling of the plague god is much stronger than Han Zhao's demonic bloodline. He then asked Pu Kasumi, what can you do for me? Pu Kasumi immediately became excited and replied, we've paid a great price to enter the trial early just to help you in the trial. At this point, Pu Kasumi confidently looked at Chen Bai, his eyes shining, and continued, I'm so lucky to see you. So early. Every member can offer you a treasure from the plague sect, according to their individual strength. After that, Pu Kasumi earnestly explained, seeming a bit guilty, sorry, we cannot give you all the treasures directly, because we must avoid being detected and interfered with by the cosmic will. Chen Bai stood there, lightly responding, it's okay. Pu Kasumi happily replied, thank you for understanding, God of Destiny. Please tell us what treasures you need. Chen Bai spoke, do you have a class change scroll? His face was cold and expressionless, and no one expected him to say such a thing. Pu Kasumi was a bit surprised and asked, a class change scroll? Pu Kasumi immediately knelt, bowing to both Chen Bai and Han Xiao, saying, of course we do. He was happy but still maintained his calm, and Chen Bai was a bit stunned by Pu Kasumi's respect. A few seconds later, Pu Kasumi took out 2 items from his bag and read aloud clearly, Plague Knight S rank, Insect Summoner S rank. However, these 2 items were not important. Pu Kasumi spread his arms, using his power to make a bright book fly up, continuing, and our sect's most precious level 2 S-class profession book. Han Xiao was so scared that he nearly lost his mind and blurted out, level 2 S-class profession? Chen Bai exhaled and said calmly, is there a level 3 S-class profession? Since level 3 S-class professions are very difficult, Pu Kasumi hesitated and said, you may not know, but level 3 S-class professions are almost impossible to appear at first. Many gods also ascended from S-class professions, even from S-class to level 3 S-class professions. Hearing this, Chen Bai sternly said, I know, but I only need a level 3 S-class class change scroll. Han Xiao, who was behind, didn't know how to explain and could only awkwardly smile. Tears slid down Pu Kasumi's face as he laughed and cried, saying, only a level 3 S-class class change scroll? His emotions shifted from joy to happiness, and he couldn't control the tears in his eyes. Pu Kasumi knelt, raising his hands and shouting, this is our future god, the revival of the plague sect is imminent. Chen Bai was a bit disappointed at this point. He stroked his hair and lowered his head, saying, if not, then I'll look at other things. However, Pu Kasumi immediately interrupted Chen Bai, hastily replying, no, we have a way to obtain a level 3 S-class class change scroll. It seems that with the attitude just now, Pu Kasumi cannot be satisfied. Chen Bai was slightly surprised and asked again, is it really possible? Pu Kasumi maintained a ghostly posture and further explained, yes, it's not guaranteed, and you will need to go get it yourself. Chen Bai stared at him and asked, how do I do it? Pu Kasumi's emotions changed dramatically, and he was full of excitement when mentioning this matter. I can open a special secret realm, which can trigger the biggest plague event in Blue Star history. You will enter it to collect the plague seeds recorded in history. When the time comes, these seeds will be used to condense into a promotion scroll, and there is a chance to obtain a 3S level scroll. Chen Bai crossed his arms and lightly stroked his chin, thinking for a moment before saying, since there's a chance, I'll definitely try. Pu Kasumi bowed his head and raised his staff with both hands. He firmly inserted the staff into the ground, the wind blowing his hair, as he muttered a poem. I dedicate my life, strength, and soul to become a ladder to the gods, the plague path of the gods. Pukasumi's eyes widened, his mouth gaping, his eyes shining like flashlights, and green flames ignited around him. His entire body turned into a green flame-like spiritual energy, burning fiercely and emitting flames in all directions. Soon after, the staff with stones fell to the ground. 2 notifications appeared. Do you wish to enter the Independent Secret Realm dungeon? 80 million beings sighed. The remaining time to enter the dungeon is 2 minutes and 56 seconds. Chen Bai and Han Xiao stood still as Pukasumi disappeared in front of them, leaving behind only a huge mushroom. Chen Bai looked up and said, "How funny, this is an independent dungeon, I can't take you in." Han Xiao scratched his head and awkwardly said, "White Emperor, do you mean that for such a powerful boss, you must dedicate all your power to open the dungeon? I'm too scared to go in." At this moment, Chen Bai turned around and looked at the tall mushroom, feeling somewhat afraid, secretly thinking, the opening time of the special gate is limited. I'll take you out first to avoid being killed by insects or infected with the plague. Near the plague factory, Chen Bai had safely taken Han Xiao out of the secret realm and had him stand on the street, watching Chen Bai's departing figure. He said, "What just happened to me?" Han Xiao had some free time, so he entered the chat group and planned to show off. Han Xiao started chatting under the nickname Han King. "Just said goodbye to White Emperor, you definitely won't. Guess what I just went through? Yi Zi, how's White Emperor? I'm really not from Xianjian, please ask White Emperor. And Meng Meng when they're free, I still have a dungeon to clear. Han King, Xianjian, just wait, White Emperor probably doesn't have time to help you. Ba Weng, still hiding it, be careful I mark a few red dots for you in. Motto. Han King, no, Ba Wang brother, please stop, I'll tell you. Han King, an ultra-strong NPC kneeled and offered a promotion scroll to White Emperor, but White Emperor wasn't satisfied. The brown-haired brother from Ba Wang's account also changed his expression and commented, "What exactly makes it so strong?" Han King, wearing plain clothes, White Emperor couldn't break the defense even with full strength, so strong. Ba Wang, impossible? Wuna wrote a comment pointing at the system. What promotion scroll? Han King, 2 scrolls, 1 SS scroll. Wuna, holy crap. Shui Chuan sat in a room and said, "So, White Emperor is still not satisfied." Han King, White Emperor said, "If it's not 3S level, don't expect it, it's useless." Shui Chuan sent 3 dots. Han King said, then the NPC sacrificed himself for White Emperor, opening the dungeon to get the 3S level promotion scroll. Yi Zi, an orange-haired boy, answered, "Sacrifice?" Han Xiao got tired of sitting and lay down on the sofa to continue chatting. The heir of Fengchen said, "Definitely, the gap between White Emperor and us is even bigger than the gap between us and ordinary evolvers." Ba Wang, after every big victory, hearing news about White Emperor always makes my bit of self-satisfaction disappear. Han King, I advise you not to cause trouble, and don't compare yourself to White Emperor. You can't use White Emperor to prove yourself. Han King, we're in the same group as White Emperor, and it's group number 001. Isn't that cool? Yi Zi, you're right. But I don't want to use White Emperor to prove myself, I want to get back at those cowards. Meanwhile, Chen Bai was focused on the hourglass around his neck, thinking to himself, how did an hourglass appear? Then, Chen Bai put the small hourglass into his clothes and muttered, being here alone is. In front of him was a magnificent city gate, both beautiful and grand. Chen Bai, with his small figure, looked up in astonishment and said, "Is this the Lama Stone Gate secret realm, Florence?" As he walked, Chen Bai shook his head and looked around the secret realm. He couldn't help but sigh. This should be medieval Florence, truly deserving of the title of the world's art capital, but